Welcome back everybody, my name is Max and today I just want to briefly address the netcode issue that DICE have recently implemented with the spring patch into Battlefield 1. I know this is a completely evocative subject, everybody's bitching, ranting and moaning about it, and I just want to throw my 10 cents into the mix. Now for those of you that don't know, I work in networking. I work for one of the largest IT companies in the United States and have a pretty good handle on exactly how all this fun stuff works. Now earlier on I watched a video by Westy, who normally when it comes to in-game stuff, when he's talking about guns and all this kind of fun stuff, is pretty much on point. But he delivers a video all about the netcode and on what DICE have just done, which to be perfectly honest with you is complete bollocks. His understanding of how this works is absolutely so far off the grid, he might as well be on the moon. It's ridiculous. So I thought in response to that, of sorts, I wanted to throw my own 10 cents in here and give everybody a better insight as to what it was using my humble skills and my humble knowledge. So that being said, here we go. So DICE implemented a 100 ping cap into the game via the netcode, and basically what this means is if your ping rises over 100, then you're going to drop into a separate category within the netcode, which will effectively increase your latency. There will be lag in the game, and you are going to, in their explanation, you're going to have to lead your target by a greater variable because of the latency that's incurred. Basically, they are penalizing you for not playing their game with high ping. Well, high ping is, you know, bad of sorts, but not everybody in the world has access to super fast internet, and not everybody in the world can afford to buy all of the fancy gizmos and stuff that go with it to make internet, you know, super fast. What everybody can afford to do in the world, of course, is buy DICE's game and spend their $60 or $120 or whatever it was, depending on what variant of the game you bought. But apparently, according to DICE, once you've, you know, finished buying the game, now you need super duper internet in order to make their game run, which is not in the description of the game, I hasten to add. So I'm not quite sure if they're in some sort of violation of a law there or not, but it's it would seem to me that if you're going to require people to have, you know, this amount of internet speed and all this kind of fun stuff, then you'd have some kind of you know, network requirement on the box or whatever, but I can't say I ever remember reading that. But anyway, I'm off topic and off tangent. So they've introduced this, and basically the people with low ping have been bitching that they've been getting shot round corners by people with high ping and all that kind of fun stuff. And by introducing this new ping cap, they are basically turning that on its head, and they are prioritizing people with low ping, and they're giving them basically super duper, you know, in-game experience. When anybody that shoots over 100 ping, basically you're screwed. Now the poor people that live in Australia, or they live in India, South Africa, any region of the world that is not tied into or close to a DICE server for Battlefield 1, then you are forced to play outside of your region. And by playing outside of your region, as we all know, therefore, guess what? Your ping gets higher. So DICE are penalising you basically for that. They want you to buy the game, but they're going to penalise you for having high ping. So, is it fair? No. The low ping players of this world have been bitching and moaning, and be aware that the low ping players of this world do not make up the majority as per usual. So kind of like the CTE in a way, is that, you know, we do all the testing in the CTE, but only for players with PC. And I'm more than well aware, before everybody jumps on this and post comment below, that a lot of this is to do with Microsoft and Sony not letting the CTE up because it has to meet certain requirements by their own company standards, and that's absolutely fine. But anyway, again, off topic. So that's what they've introduced. So they've introduced this ping speed, and their DICE's advice again is to lead your target. I said, well, that's all well and good. So you're going to lead your target in a game where you already have to lead your target because you allow for, you know, bullet travel and velocity of bullets and all this kind of fun stuff, which is basically what makes Battlefield, and what makes it such a great game is that true world, real world environment thing is within it. However, now I'm finding that I have to lead my target by what, another half an inch, another quarter of an inch, something along the lines of that. And they're like, well, that'll be the solution to it. But what they've omitted to tell everybody is the fact that if you shot for, let's say you're running at 120 ping, and it's consistently 120 ping, well then you could make an adjustment. However, the way that the ping works and the way that traffic works and the way that packet loss or packet transfer is even established, it doesn't work like that. The ping speed is variable. It will go up, it will go down. And so the aim is either going to be on point, it's going to be off, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And so you get this inconsistent feel within the game, which is absolute garbage. You haven't made a fair playing field. All you've done is you've said, well done to the guys that live right next door to the server, and everybody else can kiss my ass. And to give you a good idea of how that works, I have extremely great internet. I live in the middle of the United States, so I'm forced to either play on the East or the West Coast servers in the US. Now, I typically get a ping speed return on my Xbox of about 75. It fluctuates and varies. In game, I can get ping speeds around 63, and have recently, since the spring patch, I've had games where, looking at the latency speeds on the screen, have exceeded 330. So at this point, you're not just losing occasional pieces of information from the packet. I mean, you are literally losing the entire packet. And if you don't understand the way packet transfer and packet data works, basically think about a train. It has the front car, a middle car, and a back car. Now the front car is the header, the rear car is the footer, and the information contained within the center of that is what they call the packet. When the footer and the header arrive, they are broken away by the network, and the information is then taken out of that, knows where it's come from, knows where it's going to, and then a signal in a similar way is then resent back the other way. That's the easiest way I can explain it. What DICE have done effectively is open the car door of the middle train open, and along its route bits of information are falling out, so that when it gets to the other end, the information is incomplete. And when it's incomplete, the server then sends another message back to the system requesting the rest of the information, and therefore then it gets sent backwards and forwards. Basically what you see on the screen when all of that is going on in the background is lag and it's latency. It's not a completely accurate analogy of how it works, but it should generate a picture in people's minds as to roughly how this works. So that's kind of what they've done. In the next 72 hours, I believe they're going to increase it to 150. This will make a difference, I want to say, to a considerable amount of players, people like myself, people that are living effectively off the grid. Sorry guys, but you're absolutely screwed. Now, that being said, there are things that you can do to increase your connectivity speed and try and drive your ping down as low as possible. Is it going to fix it? No. And some of these things are stupid stuff, like hardwiring all your gear. Everybody knows this. Hardwire your stuff to the router. Make sure the house is hardwired. Now, those of you that are out there rolling your eyes because your dad's got his router set up downstairs in your PC or your Xbox or your PlayStation is upstairs in your bedroom, and you've got no choice but to be on a wired connection. There are things you can do, but unfortunately for you guys, it's going to mean spending money, and it's all to do with boosting Wi-Fi signals and all that kind of fun stuff. But the majority of houses in the UK are built out of brick and block, so Wi-Fi signals don't typically travel through that particularly well anyway. So you know, you're a losing battle there, unfortunately, and there's not a great deal of things currently that we can do to help you out. But those of you that are wired, I will say this: those of you who are wired, that's all well and good, but think about the cabling that you use. And so don't look at the cable end and you'll see a stamp on the cable, and the cable was, if it says, like for instance, Cat 4 or Cat 4E or something like that, if it says Cat 4E, unplug it, throw it in the trash, and go and buy yourself some decent cables. You need at least Cat 5E minimum to get the very best in terms of transfer of data from your router back to your computer or your Xbox or whatever it is you're trying to run. Cat 6 is absolutely brilliant. Now there is Cat 7. Don't even worry about it. Absolute waste of time. No one's running on gigabit internet right now, so it's not even worth your hassle. So get Cat 6, check your cabling, make sure your cabling's tip top. You can increase that. The other thing, of course, you can do, which the majority of people that I know certainly do, is statically assign IPs to your Xbox. If you don't know how to do that, leave a comment down below. I'll do a video if necessary showing people exactly how to statically IP that and keep your IP address outside of the address range that your router will DHCP assign to the rest of the network. A lot of different terminology, a lot of different, you know, analogies and all that fun stuff, but trust me when I say I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this, and if you want me to make a video, then I absolutely will, because this is an extremely emotive subject for a lot of people, and I'll be more than happy to help. Or just I'll leave a detailed description down below of exactly how to do it. It's not hard, anybody can do it. It just takes a little bit of time, and you can bang it out, no worries. So there we are. That's my rant on their netcode. 72 hours. They're going to fix it. Allegedly, it's going to be increased to 150. We'll see if that happens. Don't know if it will. Hopefully it will, because right now the game's unplayable, and I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like the fact that I've paid nearly $100 for a game that, quite frankly, right here, right now, I can't play. And that doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. It's daylight robbery. It's like theft in a way, and I don't like being taken for a mug. So there we are. There's my rant over. If you want to see some more of my videos, I don't just rant, I do other things. Check out the channel, like, subscribe, leave comments, leave thumbs down, leave thumbs up. Don't really care, so long as there's some form of interaction. The new channels, trying to grow and all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video in the background. This was my grind for the Martini Henry Sniper, which I actually do have unlocked, and I've got a video coming up on that as well. So stick around, I'll upload that video probably Wednesday of this week, and we'll go from there. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate it a lot, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the usual spots and all that fun jazz, and I will catch everybody in the next one.